Hey guys, Ethan Jackson here, and today we're going to be doing a review of the MS170 Stihl chainsaw. So basically, for what this video I'm going to do is, first of all, Happy New Year, because probably by the time you guys are going to see this video, it will be 2022. Isn't that crazy? Can't believe 2021 is in the past and 2022 is here in the future. But I'm looking forward to seeing what's in store for 2022. Can't wait to get it back out there and start working again. I'm kind of slowing down, didn't work really around Christmas. I got a few cleanups and stuff already lined up for 2022. Amazing. Awesome. So I just want to talk to you about this chainsaw here real quick. Or maybe for a while. We'll see what happens. Because my review videos are a little more popular usually than my mowing videos, and I haven't made one in a while. So basically, what we got here, what your eyes behold. Oh, here comes Lucy. Hey Lucy, you want to be in my video? Is that what you want? No, she's camera shy, guys. We got the Stihl MS170 chainsaw. So basically, to start off, this is the smallest chainsaw Stihl, gas-powered chainsaw Stihl makes, to my knowledge. Cheapest one. Their lowest grade consumer. I know they make real small arborist ones, but maybe not bar length-wise, but this is the cheapest gas saw you can buy from Stihl. The reason I like Stihl, as some of you may know, I know some people don't like it, but one reason I got the chainsaw is Stihl are known for their chainsaws, really. I know, there's a Venture, he's not being here either, he's too camera shy too. I'm shooting at a different location too, if you can't tell that either. But basically, I knew a guy, he had the 170 for a while, and it ran well for me. They're about 170 bucks, honestly. We'll get into that later, but the reason that I went and bought it was because I don't cut down trees for a living, okay? I'll maybe cut my own trees down if I don't like where they're at, or they're dead, or a limb falls down. This thing is a great little saw. It should have fuel in it real quick, so I'm just gonna pop it off real quick, actually. So I'm not wearing safety glasses, hearing protection, or chaps, or gloves, so don't try this at home, people. Second pull. And right, I forgot I didn't have the brake on. So you always want to make sure you have your brake on when you start. Right now it's about 50 degrees or so. So it started up pretty fairly, and I know the bigger saws you get in the Stihl, you can do the cold air starts and all that stuff. But today we're just mainly talking about the 170, and that's what you guys came here for. So what your eyes lay before you is about a 30cc engine or so. I got some of the stats here in case I can't remember them, actually. It's about a 30cc engine. It's 1.3 horsepower, I believe. In dry weight, I'm pretty sure it's dry weight. Oh, Jack's coming over here. You guys seen Jack before, so. Hey, Jack, you want to be in the video? No, he's scared of my saw, isn't he? It's about 8.6 pounds. That's what the book says. Dry weight, so that's without oil and without fuel. The fuel capacity for this is about, let's see, no, that's oil capacity. Okay, no, the fuel capacity is 8.5 ounces. It's a pretty small tank, and like I said, this is a pretty small saw. Oil, yeah, Jackson. Hey, Jack, you want to say hi to everybody? There you go, guys. You can see Jack. He's my biggest fan, you could say. And the oil capacity is about 7.27 ounces of oil you put in it. As we all know, your oil goes in the first one, closer to the muffler, your oil, then your gas. I'm gonna make sure that's off. You always want to keep it. I'm sorry, I'm gonna keep the brake on. Something that maybe is not my favorite, and this is what you get. I paid, let's see, at Roller King in Litchfield, Illinois. I went there in June of this year, 2021. I went there and I got this MS170 with the stuff it comes with. It comes with, the little scrunch tool, you can use that. But I got this one with the 16-inch bar for $180 something. Inflation has made it no longer $170. With taxes, it came to be around $200 and something. But I did purchase the extra gallon, or it'd be a gallon, I would assume, of the bar and chain oil to extend my warranty. That's a little promotion they run sometimes. I'm pretty sure they do that often, but I don't know. You'll have to check with your local dealer on that. So what you also can do here, I should have brought my scratch tool. I wasn't thinking, was I? Maybe my keys will do it. This is, see, you need to always have your scrunch tool on you, especially with these cheaper version of saws. Or if you have a good set of keys handy, let's go. That worked perfectly. Take that down so it gets off. This is your air filter. And like I said, you have to have your scrunch tool. And one reason it's so dirty, I was out at a creek cutting up some stuff for me and my brothers. They were building the fort, and I figured I could help them pretty easily with the saw instead of their hand saws and machetes and what else they were using. So as you can see, I've ran this since June, and I don't cut down trees for customers. I cut down my own trees. That thing's really dirty, actually. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna bring that up closer to the camera, and hopefully you guys can hear me pretty well. But that's a pretty dirty air filter, especially the side closest to the intake. So that needs to be taken care of. I can't forget to clean that. Anyway, it's not meant, if you look at the book or look what people say, it's not meant for cutting down big trees or anything fancy like that. But this little saw cut down, I don't know if you can see that one tree. Hopefully you can see it right there. Not the second tallest, or not the tallest one, but that second tallest one right there. It cut down a tree about that size and did all the work with it, this 16-inch bar, and the trunk was a lot bigger than 16 inches, let me tell you that. So it can cut down big trees, it just takes a while, trust me. But what this saw is really meant for is for the homeowner to go in and cut up a small tree that fell down in a storm, cut up some limbs, cut up just small things of firewood. Not really for commercial or pro tree cutter. I mean, some of them might run it just for cutting up small limbs that fell. I do need to tighten up my chain. That's pretty loose, actually. But besides the point, it's not meant for being big commercial. But one reason I bought it is because it's small, it's light, it's fast to start. It's a great little saw. I might pick one up in another 5 years or so, unless I get into more tree cutting or something. I don't really see that for my business at this moment. So right now, if a customer has a limb down, we had a windstorm. Okay, say we had a windstorm or tornado come through. We used a few weeks ago. We had one come through. It knocked down quite a few limbs. I didn't have any customers have me come out and do anything like that. But if I'm on a property, I'm like, hey, I see your tree fell down or your limb fell down. You care if I can chop this off for this X amount of dollars, or I can haul it off? Don't worry, we'll get that taken care of for you, Mrs. Herfenderbler. So that's one reason I purchased a saw. It's quick, and I don't really want a battery saw, in my opinion, guys. They're nice. I got to test it out at the GIE. If you check out that video, go back. Or, you know what? I'll put a thing to it. It should be about right here, shouldn't it? Or maybe, I don't know what site it's going to be on. But I put a video up about that, so I'll link that one up there somewhere. Up above my head, that's all I can tell you. Anyways, battery saws are nice, but in my opinion, they're just not where, I mean, maybe they are where they need to be, but I don't think that stuff's where it needs to be, in my opinion. I like a good old gas saw. Yeah, you can't really bog them battery saws down, but I like a good old gas saw, in my opinion. I've covered that's a 16-inch bar. It's the Stihl, let's see, Rollmatic E Mini. This bar is really great, actually. I mean, I'm not a big chainsaw nerd. I don't know too much about chainsaws. I just know they cut wood pretty much and stuff, and to keep a good sharp chain. So I don't know what the Rollmatic E Mini stands for. I know it's a smaller bar. You get just around 14 inches of cutting, actual usable cutting length, so you lose about 2 inches in here. To tighten it up, this is something you might want to know, because it's not like any of the other Stihls. It's got that little hole there, but there's nothing to stick in there and tighten. So what you gotta do, I wish I could remember the socket size. I think it's about a 1/2 socket for these two nuts here, and if you lose one, just go to your Stihl dealer. They're about, I think I got one 30 for 30 cents I lost. So you have to just break the torque on, just loosen them to where it just pops them out loose. And then right in here, hopefully you guys can see this, right in there, there's a little screw at the very bottom pretty much of this section, like the gripping plate. There's a little section. You take your little screwdriver. You could take a set of keys if you wanted to, if you lost your screwdriver somehow, but you always got to release these first, and you just turn it. Now loosen the chain or tighten the chain. Like I said, you guys saw it start really easily, which was pretty cool. I didn't expect to start that on that many poles. But like I said, I've cut down quite a few trees with this. Is this worth it to buy if you're is this worth it to buy if you're a landscaping lawn care business and you're cutting down limbs, trees maybe that fall over, maybe small ornamental trees, cutting out bushes? Yes. Are you a homeowner with 5 acres and above, cutting down trees for firewood? You're like on a homestead. Is this the right saw for you? Probably not, okay? I used to live on 9 acres. We would cut firewood and stuff. My dad has the MS170, 270, somewhere around that bigger saw. That's a really good saw for cutting up firewood and stuff. You don't need some saw with a 40-inch bar to here an infinity to cut down your trees, guys. That's for the pros. Saws, I got to hold one, actually. That thing was insane. So anyways, this saw is perfect for the business, like lawn care, landscaping business that only don't want to spend really over $200. This is a saw that you can usually buy for under $200. And if I saw this saw at a yard sale and about this condition, maybe a little cleaner, because I did get a little mud and stuff on it. I mean, it could use a cleaning. I would probably pick it up, honestly, unless it was like 10 years old. I wouldn't. Something I want to talk about, when you buy the cheaper model, when you buy the 170 caps, you gotta use, most of the time you gotta use your scrunch tool to open them. At least the oil one for me, because you can't really get your hand in there good. If Stihl ended up ever watching this video, maybe that's something you could figure out on how to redesign. I know the more expensive caps are like the ones that pop out, the handle and you twist it. I know they're not that way because this is a cheap $0 saw. You can get this is your bare bones saw. This is no fancy caboodle guys, fancy doodads and all that good stuff. But this is just bare bones. But like here, I'm gonna open the gas one because it should have some gas in it right now. Yeah, I can do the gas one with my hand. I purposely don't tighten it down with the scrunch because I just tighten down with my hand. But like I said, this oil one, oh, okay, maybe I can get it. Usually though, I can't get, that was in a rare occasion. This oil thing, I can't usually get open with my hand. That was a rare occasion. So, but you're always gonna want to keep your scrunch tool or your socket, at least with about a 1/2 inch socket, I believe. Don't quote me on that. And then your your flathead screwdriver. And this oil container, I already mentioned the size. I think it was 8 something ounces or 7 something ounces. It's small. It fills up really fast. So be careful. If you bought this saw and you're watching this video first time before you run it or something, or you have this saw and you're getting ready to fill it up with oil, be careful. It will fill up super fast, and then it goes make a mess everywhere, and it's just annoying to clean up, especially if it's on your garage floor. Now if you're out in the woods or it's on your grass where you don't really mind, it's okay there, but it just is a mess on your saw, and then you get all the sawdust and stuff stuck around here. I mean, it will happen with time, but trust me, you don't really want that to always happen. Your gas thing fills up somewhat fast. I use a 2.2 sure can usually on this one because the 5 gallon just is too much, honestly. Like I said, I've had this saw since June. I probably put it closer to 10 hours on it now with cutting trees down for my grandparents and stuff, cutting down my own trees, cutting some limbs up for customers and stuff, and just other stuff I've done with it. But you definitely always want to wear chaps because, believe it or not, this was annoying. This was super annoying what happened to me. This is one of my first time sharing this story. So I was at a customer's property a few weeks after I bought this, or no, the day after I bought the saw. It was my first time using it. I had chaps. Yeah, I've used chainsaws before. I just hadn't used this one. I mean, I'd be careful because these teeth are still pretty sharp on this chain here. But the chain was super sharp. I literally accidentally was carrying it up a hill. It was a pretty steep hill. I wish I would have videoed this job. It would have been so cool. I used my tractor and stuff. It would have been amazing. I accidentally scuffed it practically like that on my pants, and it cut my chaps open. The saw was not running, but the teeth on the chain were sharp enough to cut my chaps open just on accident. So that's where your scabbard, if I'm not wrong, that's where your scabbard comes into play. If you're carrying it to the side, I've tried to make that a rule with myself now, because there just went $80 worth pair of chaps, $90 worth pair of chaps. I had to go to the store and pick up new ones because, you know, they say you're not supposed to use them once they're cut. So that was a pretty bummer, big bummer, and trust me, had to postpone the job and everything. I think I've covered pretty much everything. Your choke to start it is all the way down. You pull it once, twice till you hear the pop, and then you want to bring it up a notch. Pull, 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 and it usually fires up. Then it's going to be higher idle, like kind of like your weed eaters. You're going to squeeze the handle and pop. That thing goes up. Something nice about Stihls. I know some Echoes do that, but I like my Stihls because they do that. And then you're good, and to stop it, all you gotta do is pop that one sucker up like that, and then you're good to go. Just always make sure you pop it down because it will not pop down with the trigger at all. I don't know if the nicer saws do that or not, but you always want to pop that down. So like I said, this is a great little saw for businesses. Oh, the sun's finally coming out. Oh man, it's not gonna be too bad of a day, is it? The MS171 is a good saw too. It's a decent saw. I've seen people cut down trees and stuff they probably shouldn't have, that are just too big, and I've cut down trees I probably shouldn't have with this saw. They're just too big of trees and it takes too long. Other than that, I don't really have any problems. I did already take the spark arrestor out because you guys know, I don't know if I've talked about this really in any videos either, but I hate spark arresters, guys. They just clog up. I had my some of you may be familiar with my the FS70R weed eater I have. First straight shaft weed eater I had. This past spring, I thought it was done for. I thought it died because it's about 5 years old now. I haven't had it for 5 years, but I didn't realize it, but the spark arrestor was just so clogged up with carbon and gunk. So I took it out, and it runs better now. It's not perfect, okay? But I took this out after like my first use because I remember it. So all you have to do to take it out, I just took my impact with the little thing because I like my impacts and stuff. Maybe I shouldn't always use them. I just loosened these bolts and just popped it out right there, and I threw it in the trash can. I was like, see you later, screen or spark protector. I'm not gonna start a forest fire or anything with this, guys, don't worry. And it doesn't do anything with pollution. This saw is pretty loud. Honestly, you heard it. It's a loud saw for how small it is. It also it's the what you're gonna need to use to sharpen it is a 3/8 file. Yeah, 3/8 file. Excuse me, I think I might have sneezed. Okay, we're good. 3/8 file. I've seen them Stihl things. You go like that, and it's supposed to do all of it at once. It works for some people. I bought it. It's a piece of junk for me. I returned that sucker, and I just use your normal file. Yeah, it takes longer, but I don't really need to do it too much because I'll be honest with you guys. I'm gonna let you know a little secret. Every time I need a change, I just pretty much can go buy a new chain. They're about 16 bucks. I mean, I've only bought 3 chains for this, and I've sharpened this chain once. Not even perfectly either, because I'm no chainsaw professional. But like I said, what you're gonna want to wear for when you're running these chainsaws. This video is gonna be a little on the longer side, but I think it's gonna be a great video. And but what you're gonna want to wear for your chainsaw use is, I know it's cliche, it's kind of a stupid thing to say, and I don't always do it. I'm guilty. We're all guilty here, I'm pretty sure. You're gonna wear your chaps. You're gonna wear your gloves. You're gonna wear your eyeglasses. You're gonna want to wear your ear protection. I personally love my ISO tunes for that. And then you're gonna want to wear a helmet. Personally, I would not wear a helmet unless you're cutting a big tree down with dead limbs and stuff. That's where that comes into sense with me. I know it's for protection with kickback and stuff, but these smaller saws with these chains, so you can see the Stihl kind of has something cool. They color their chains with the little link. This one's green. The green means it's really hard for it to get good kickback. I've even carved stupidly on logs and stuff with just tip. I know I'm dumb, you shouldn't do that, but I've never had it kick back once. I've had it jump out at me, but thank goodness I had my chaps on. It didn't get anywhere near my legs, but I did have it jump out at me one time. So saws are dangerous, guys. They will cut your legs off. They will cut your chaps if they're not running, okay? Let me tell you. But these things, the saws are pretty safe now, and you're always going to want to have your right hand on the trigger. Never run it with your left hand on the trigger. I know if you guys are left hand, my brother's left hand. First time I saw him pick up the saw, he hasn't ran it, I don't think yet. First time he picked up the saw, he went to his left hand. I'm like, dude, if you ever run the saw, you can't run it with your left hand, I'm sorry to say. But you always want to go with your right hand on the trigger, your left hand on the grab, or the grabbing bar, I don't know what it's called necessarily. And I personally don't like cutting into logs like this because there's a good chance, it's a low chance with this chain and stuff. They make these as safe as they can because they know homeowners are going to most likely use this, and people that aren't really familiar with saws are going to use this. And that's a good way to get yourself into trouble, guys, let me tell you. So they're going to cut into say they're going to cut the tree down. They're going to make their half bottom cut there, and bam, right, your leg's chopped off, unless you have your chaps on. And hopefully your chaps work, and they work really well. Look at videos of how chaps work, it's pretty cool. But it will ruin your saw more than likely. So when I always bring my bottom cut, that's probably stupid too, but I always like to keep my hand somewhere where the guard will stop it. I mean, it might not stop it necessarily if it goes like that, but hopefully I'm strong enough and have fast enough reflexes to stop it. Or if I'm cutting in like this, where it goes, well, ching, bam, it doesn't get me, so I can get the break. Really, you're always supposed to hold it like this. I always like to make my corner cut. My back cuts, I usually go in like that. I'm maybe not the safest. I know you can use it here, but I just don't want to ever cut my leg off. I like my legs, guys. And I think you like yours too, more than likely. So that's pretty much it for this video, honestly. If you want to see more reviews on Stihl products I own, they'll be somewhere up top here too right now. So thank you guys for watching, and I hope you have a great New Year. Stay tuned for more epic videos coming, and go get them, guys.